The thing I don't know, actually, though, like you're talking about encryption, I forget what it's called, but those things you put on where your drive will boot up and large sections of it are missing because they're hidden and encrypted, so they don't appear to be there. I don't know how wise to this customs is. If I was going to try and pass stuff through, that would be my first level of defense, but not my last.
I've heard that if you have if you just hide files by putting a dot before them, most people, most like policemen and stuff, if they're searching, they won't find that stuff. If you just normally just hide them, not even encrypt them. That's what I heard. I don't know. That it's just a normal hidden file, most of them won't find it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I've actually gone through customs recently. I've gone through a lot of airports, and I've had customs and everybody, they've seen my laptop and they never even bothered to ask me to turn it on. I'm curious who this is actually going to apply to. I mean, do they expect people to be, I don't know, pirating material and taking it out of the country? They'd have to have some sort of notification. This person is a pirate. Please stop them.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's another tool in the arsenal. Really, I see it doing nothing to stop piracy.
Unless it's a known pirate.
Unless it's a known pirate, and if it's a known pirate, I guarantee you they're not moving anything across borders through physical drives.
Hope not.
There's this thing called the internet, in which I can put stuff up there, go through customs clean, and on the other end take it down. That's and delete and completely erase all logs of ever doing so. Because really, if you run that full delete of stuff with random ones and zeros, really the only way to get it back is to take the physical drive, stick it under an electron microscope, and spend a few weeks manually recovering the data byte by byte. Even then, that's very difficult to do and a lot of time and effort, and I just don't see any country justifying spending taxpayer dollars on this. Unless they have a rich country to go after to make them pay for it. So, I get the logic behind this, but I don't. Yeah, I know. Of course, the logic, all the perfect white hats of the world are going to be saying, "Well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to fear." I'm like, yeah. I'm an American. I stood class to the Fifth Amendment values. I reserve the right not to incriminate myself, goddammit. It's like, whether I am or aren't doing anything wrong. So, yeah, it's a little scary concept, to be honest. Yeah, like Jordan said, I guess we hope it doesn't pass. I don't really know what else to do there. Since it's an international law, calling Congress wouldn't really do any good. Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's like in all of this stuff, like I was starting to get into, we're just sidestepping the issue. We're sidestepping the fact that the whole system's broke from the word go. Stuff's being patented that shouldn't be. The best deterrent to keep people from stealing stuff or pirating or doing illegal copies of stuff is laws that favor consumers and competition. If something's given to me in the format I want and in a way that's cost effective, I'm less inclined to go steal it. A hell of a lot more less inclined to go steal it. I don't know about the rest of you. It's like generally these days, because I can afford to pay my bills, the only time I really do illegal piracy is when I'm left with no other choice. Little things like I'm trying to install an upgrade key of Office on somebody that has every legal right to use it, but they've upgraded their system, so they can't verify. Little stuff like that. So illegal as hell, but yeah. Anything else we want to say on this, or do we want to move on to another topic? We could probably do the whole show on this. I'm not sure we want to.
Let's go ahead and move on to something.
Okay. What do we want to get into? Oh, I didn't even see this. Why don't you take us down this magic rabbit hole, James? What is this? OpenOffice is forked?
Yeah, OpenOffice got forked. Not a huge fan of the fork name. It's LibreOffice. But, it is basically and just like you said, that we were talking about this, so this is why I was excited about seeing this.
So this is the reaction to Oracle, basically.
Yeah, and it got forked, and it's, I believe, is no longer under the control of Oracle. It's completely just an open community, a whole new community called the Document Foundation, providing LibreOffice was the whole thing. And it's nice. It's now an open source project. Nice little fork. And Mark Shuttleworth said that it could be included in future releases of Ubuntu.
Okay. I'll have to ask about that on some of my Yeah, and that's a horrible name.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, we were talking about what was going to happen to OpenOffice, and yeah.
That and VirtualBox are the two I'm concerned about. But, you know, like we said, it's like if Oracle really tries to put their foot down on this, all they're going to do is force a fork.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully if a fork of VirtualBox becomes necessary, it has a better name. What country are these people in, by the way? Does it say?
Oh, it's just probably a bunch of people just from a bunch of different things. They're probably,
Okay.
I mean, it's probably because they're big fans of, what's the guy's name? Richard Stallman.
Oh.
He loves the word Libre,
Yeah, but
So I know it doesn't roll off the tongue.
No,
very good.
it doesn't. That's like a Microsoft name right there. That's like.
But there's no, they're. It seems like they're from all around the world.
Okay. It's a good international fit there, so it should support all the languages and everything. I take it there. My guess is we probably won't see a release version sometime this year. It's probably going to come.
I got it.
You got it?
You can already get it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already in the Arch user repository.
Okay, so if it's already in Arch, and
I think there's a PPA for Ubuntu.
Well, that means it'll probably distribute through the various distros into the other environments probably by January or February then. Would be a reasonable estimation. Now, the real question here is, since, like you say, this is a fork, is Oracle going to retaliate and start doing development for OpenOffice again, or if basically is it now time to drop OpenOffice and go to, what is it, LibreOffice?
Yes. I don't know. What actually they're trying to do is they would have called it OpenOffice, but
for legal reasons they can't.
Oracle owns the name, so what they want to do is they're trying to ask Oracle to give them the name, which I would like, because
I'd love that, but do we really see Oracle, that the company that caused this whole problem, being so generous?
No, we don't. So they're probably not going to give up the name. Hopefully they still change the name anyway to anything.
Yeah, anything. No, call it Open Source Office. Or Open Source Docs. There's a whole.
Even OSI Office wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, OS Office. There you go. What does the OS stand for? Well, Microsoft might sue on that. It sounds too much like MS. No, it's a whole nother letter.
They can just call it I don't know. Just give it a generic name, Office. I don't know.
Well, I mean, or would Oracle sue them if they went with something like Open Docs? Because it's the open document format, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
I don't think. Yeah.
Say, because whether it's a spreadsheet or whatever, the file extension is open document. So that would work. That's good to see. I had a feeling even if Oracle tried this, it'd take about 5 minutes for a project like this. I just didn't know what had happened. Here's what happens when I sleep in the community. It's like, I'm assuming that's what this other link is to about Ubuntu possibly having it.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's just another link about it. I first saw it on the Oh My God Ubuntu blog.
Okay.
But,
well,
yeah.
I'll put those both in the show.
I haven't tried it, but I have no complaints except the name.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, they need a better name. Any name would be better than that. It's like, we've come up with 4 already that people can follow. OS Office, OS Docs, Open Documents, Open Source Office. It's like, pick something along the lines of Office or Documents. You know, it's something to go with that, and then a word that rolls off the tongue to go with that. If you want to come up with
you know what would be good, since it's not just, since it's, has spreadsheet and all, you could just be an open suite or something. Open suite.
I'd still call it Office just because there's so many people out there that associate the term Office with a word processing / document management suite. And like, it is a suite, but you could call it Open Document Suite. So something like that. It doesn't even have to be our document suite. Hell, call it Tux Document Suite. The only reason I don't like using Tux is because OpenOffice is one of those things that is truly largely cross-platform, and I don't think why Tux is the open source mascot unofficially is really more a Linux thing than he is Sunt, and you don't want to start that whole it's Linux only. No, OpenOffice is a good cross-platform tool. It should stay that way.
So wasn't the reason that the whole thing, the real name for OpenOffice was OpenOffice.org because OpenOffice was already taken? Right?
Yeah, but that's different because it isn't trademark owned, and now it is. I don't think it was trademarked owned before that, but the name was taken by something. Yeah.
So you can't do anything close to OpenOffice now, because I'm thinking if OpenOffice.org is the reason that they added .org to make it legal, why don't they just add a .something?
Because that would be deceptively similar, and that's the textbook definition of trademark infringement. Trademark or patent infringement. You have to be able to prove why it's different. It's like, so if Open Office is in the name, that's why I'm like, throw the office out, call it Docs. It's like, nip that in the bud right at the start. So that's why they went with Libre. You can't possibly confuse Libre with Open. Like, although I keep thinking, I get this image of a luchador in my head every time I hear that word. Let's lucha Office!